My name is G.A. Franks, and I'm the author of a new book called Maelstorm, book 1 in the Gideon Rayne series. I have a copy right here. 2. There we go. It's my first book. I'm sort of new to the whole writing and authoring thing, but I had a lot of interest in the first book, and I was very lucky because straight away when it was released it went to a #1 hot new releases spot for its genre, which was really exciting. And a lot of people have asked me a load of different questions kind of while I was writing it, building up to releasing it, and after it hit the shelves. And I've got the questions jotted down in my little orange notebook. And in here, there's all kinds of secret information, not just about Gideon Rayne and Maelstorm when I was planning the first book, but also there's some ideas and things I've got for future projects in here as well. So it's a very important little orange notebook, this one. So I'm going to start straight away. First question was, my son is 12. Is Maelstorm suitable? Yes. It is. I would have no problems with someone 12 years old reading it, or even a little bit younger, kind of 10, 11 and upwards, is fine. The book's marketed at the young adult market, but really, I mean, I think anyone from kind of 10 upwards to, I don't know, 60 or something, probably should be able to find something to enjoy in it. There's a little bit of sort of shooting and people die and stuff, but it's not super gory. I don't linger over descriptions of anything nasty. There's no bad language in the book anywhere. There's no frisky business in the book anywhere. And I did write it really with the intention of younger people being able to read it. So yes, your 12-year-old son can read the book. Thank you for your interest. Question number 2. When is book 2 coming out? Yes, I've been asked this one a lot. The answer is when I've written it. Book 1's only just come on out, and I wanted to kind of wait and see what would happen. And it's done okay. People are enjoying it. The reviews are coming in and they're looking quite good. And so I will get straight on with book 2 very soon. Very soon. As to when it comes out, I don't know. I'm hoping it won't be much longer than a year at the most. So my next question in here then is the one I've probably been asked the most, which is, why is the title Maelstorm and not Maelstrom? That's actually a really good question. And you know what? If I was to release the book again, I probably wouldn't call it Maelstorm, simply because it makes life just that little bit harder when you go searching on the internet and every time you type it in, it goes, "Did you mean Maelstrom?" It's like, no, didn't. But lesson learned there. Maybe next time don't make up my own word for a book title. It's called Maelstorm for a few reasons, really. And firstly, it was originally called Maelstrom. It was called Maelstrom for the longest time when I was writing it. But after a little while, I kind of thought, Maelstrom traditionally was sort of something more to do with water, like whirlpools and things. And if you've read the book, you'll understand that isn't really what's in here. That isn't what the Maelstorm in the book is. It's something completely different. It's something that I'd made up, although it is based on kind of some scientific reality. I also looked at other books that were out there, and I counted, and there was at least 3 million books called Maelstrom. So I decided just to tweak it a little bit. I like the way that Maelstorm sounded. I like the way it looked on the page. And it really kind of captured the feeling of what's happening in Gideon's world, and with his own kind of internal battle as well. There is a literal Maelstorm in the story, which you'll find out exactly what that is. But it was sort of a bit of a metaphor as well for the world that Gideon lives in, and indeed his own journey. So that's why it's Maelstorm and not Maelstrom. Yes, it was deliberate. Next question. What made you write a book? That's a very good question. What did make me write a book? Well, do you know what? I've always wanted to write a book. I used to write when I was young. I had a pink hamburger pen from McDonald's that I just really liked, and a Transformers notebook with a holographic cover that I really loved. And I'd sit at my parents' dining room table and I'd just write stories about Action Force and Transformers and Mask and all the stuff that I was into when I was a kid. But it never went away. That kind of love of writing really has sort of been there for as long as I can remember. And I did a degree in education, and I loved writing. I loved writing the essays. I loved writing the massive dissertation that I had to do. And I found that I just really enjoyed the act of getting a keyboard out and kind of spewing words out onto a screen. So let's just do that. Put some words on a page, start writing a little story. So I did. And then I just kept going and kept going and kept going, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then before you know it, there was a story. That's what made me want to write a book. I just really enjoy writing. Next question is, what advice would you give to someone that wants to write a book? The thing that people have said to me the most since I started writing or going down the pub and telling my friends, oh, I'm writing a book. Everyone you speak to turns and goes, oh, I've always wanted to write a book. And you know what I would say to them? Do it then. I'd always wanted to write a book. And I would sometimes say to people who've written books, I've always wanted to write a book. Stop wanting to write a book and actually, you know, have a go. It doesn't matter if you do 100 words a day, 200, 500 or 1,000. Every day you've written a little bit more, and before you know it, you've created a world of your own, and it's a really lovely feeling. So give it a shot. If you've always wanted to write a book, make a start right now, as soon as you finish watching this video. Next question then is, how long did it take to write Maelstorm? It actually didn't take very long. I started it in the Christmas holidays of 2019. I'd gone to the pub a few times with my friends, and I'd walked back from the pub, and I always, when I was walking back, I kind of imagined what the world would look like in 100 years' time, and because I'm a bit of a nerd, they would always involve people in cool space armour and stuff. So I thought I'd start writing it. So that was in Christmas, and the book was released in very late September 2020. So around about 6 months from conception to completion and release. Okay, so I've got a question here that says, I have bought Maelstorm and I love it. Thank you. However, there are a few typos. What do you have to say about that? Sorry? I don't think it affects the story. No one said to me I couldn't read the story anymore. A lot of people have said, oh, I didn't really notice them, and it certainly didn't bother me, which is nice. Apparently, it's not uncommon for first editions of books to have a few typos in, and this is just another case where that's happened. What I suspect is that it means it'll be worth millions in the future, most likely, I expect. I'm going to wrap it up now with my last question I've been asked, which is, can I buy Maelstorm from my local bookshop? Yes, probably, is the answer to that. The book is primarily available on Amazon, and I believe the way it works is that my publishing company's books are now available in a book, like a catalogue, I guess, that bookstores can order from. So Maelstorm will be in that book, and there will be different editions of it for the bookstores as well. I just finished filming the Q&A video, and I had a quick look on social media, and someone had asked me another question that I thought was actually really interesting. So I thought I'd quickly just sort of throw a bit of video on the end and tag it on. The question was, which of the characters in Maelstorm do I most identify with, or is there a little bit of me in sort of each of them? I don't really know. There's a character called Fan who jokes around a little bit, and sometimes when things are going a bit wrong, he kind of retreats a little bit, puts his helmet on and just sort of stands back. And I think I kind of, maybe there's a little bit of me in there. He either does that or he makes a joke out of it. So I think maybe there's a bit of me in Fan. But I don't think there's too much of me in any of the other characters. They were sort of people that came to life in my mind. The book I'm writing at the minute, however, main character in that, yeah, very much relate to him. But I think what I've tried to do with Gideon Rayne, the characters in there, is I've tried to sort of take little bits of people that I've known throughout my life and sort of dip them in it, like kind of those little chocolate breadstick things that you dip into chocolate, a bit like that. Bye.